Yo. Welcome to 4 Photographers, 4 Edits. This is a series of videos that I've been wanting to make for a while where 4 photographers, including myself, edit the same photo. A few friends of mine participated in this where we edited a photo of a hummingbird. I'll put their profiles below or on the screen over here. They're all amazing photographers. But we all edit very differently, so I was interested to see how we would edit this photo. If you're interested in seeing more of these type of videos, definitely let me know in the comments below, and hopefully we could make a few more of these that if people are interested in how different wildlife photographers are editing the same photos. But let's get into it. So this is the photo of the hummingbird that we all edited. I just wanted to show what the specific raw file looked like. There was quite a bit of noise in this photo, so I think if we zoom in quite a bit, we'll see there's a lot of noise in this photo. The bird is in the center of the frame, but kind of center of the frame, but I guess it'll be interesting to see kind of like how everybody would crop this photo, what people would do in terms of like also the lighting, because it's also a little bit dark on the photo. And maybe trying to bring out like maybe the iridescence of the bird, like feathers and stuff like that. So it was quite interesting. So I'm gonna jump straight into pretty much the first edit. So the first edit over here is very different from what I would probably do. And I'll show my edit also. I think my edit is probably the one that's up next, but this one is very tightly cropped, which actually ends up being really nice. From my side of things, like I like to show the bird in its environment, but I guess there was a lot of stuff in the actual image itself. That there was branches, there was some flowers at the bottom, the red flowers, there was the branch and all of those type of things. This is a very nice edit because it's quite tight. It's kind of like showing the bird well perched. There's some cleaning up of the branch also at the bottom over here, because there was actually like a red flower that was overlapping. And then yeah, just kind of like well balanced. For me though, obviously I think I've noticed that my edits are also a lot more pungent and saturated. I think that's kind of been my style. But whereas this one, it feels like the background like doesn't like punch out to me, but I think it's just my style of photography where there's a lot more pungentness in the colors. But yeah, let's jump to the next one. So the second one, this one's actually my edit. So I think you can see a lot more like saturation in this particular edit. I left a lot more in terms of the crop itself. So you can see there's this leaf at the bottom, and then there's that red flower. In the beginning, I thought that like this was not very distracting, but after kind of like looking at what everybody else did, this kind of seems very distracting. So even if we go back to the one before this, you can even see in the background kind of like cleaned up one of the branches that were kind of like just behind over here. In my one, you'll see that this branch is kind of still there. That feels a little bit distracting, but also there's this leaf and this red pink flower that's over there. But then what I do like about my photo though is the colors. I guess the colors are a little bit more like showing there in the feathers, but potentially it could have done with a better crop, maybe cleaning up of some background. But yeah, I think overall the other one had like just a better crop, and then the colors were a little bit more balanced. And then I had a lot of distracting objects, which I don't really always see until I guess somebody else notices and tells me. But I guess just my thing. And then yeah, let's jump to the next one. So this one is interesting because this one, when speaking to the photographer that actually edited this photo, again the crop is a lot tighter, background cleaned up really nicely. But here we can see that the background color is a little bit different, so we can see that there's a bit of warmer tones over here. So I guess better white balancing done here, where it's actually just warmed up the background. So probably like a selection of the background and then just warming up the tones over there, kind of giving it that nice glow. But again, you can see like a tighter crop, background kind of cleaned up again, and then even that flower kind of also cleaned up at the bottom over here. Colors are good, crop is good. So yeah, this is also something that's very, very different, I guess, from the first image to mine. But I think well, what I've noticed in this image is that like the way I've kind of like cropped this image is potentially very different from others, just because they see distracting objects more than what I do, which is very interesting. And then the last edit is where somewhere kind of like in between mine and the other edits, where again still the crop is very very tight, but a little bit less tighter than the others, I would guess. I would say. Also, I guess the background wasn't cleaned up like the others in terms of this branch over here, but also kept a little bit of the actual flower, which I think is nice, because that pink kind of comes through quite a bit, but I guess didn't leave like the leaf there. The bird itself also looks a little bit more lighter, I would say, like maybe the shadows have been pushed up a lot more on this one. And then the background again feels a little bit warmer than the original photo itself, which yeah is a pretty interesting edit. I generally try and keep the background very much the same. I don't really do the white balancing of the background specifically. I would maybe just check the white balancing of a photo. Like also when it comes to like astro photos, I like a little bit more blue in the sky. But like with this, I didn't even think of kind of like looking at like the background, maybe just seeing that it was a bit cold versus like warm. And this actually does give quite a interesting look on, I guess, the image itself. But yeah, I think it's a very like interesting way, and I think everybody kind of like denoised the background, so like got rid of the noise using probably Lightroom denoiser. But again, if I just flip through all of them again, very, very different edits. Again, I think the first one, the photo that I edited, very similar in terms of like background tones. And then this one and the first one, very similar in terms of crop and cleanup of the background, which is really nice. I guess it takes a lot of the distracting elements out. And then the last one, I guess, very similar to how I did it, just a smaller crop itself. Is like cropping a lot less, and not cleaning too much of the background up, but also leaving the flower in over there at the end. But yeah, this is just my opinion on these images. Everyone edits it great, and yeah, let me know what you guys think of this edit. I guess, for photographers for edits, and hopefully we'll do a few more of these. So if the video is something that you're interested in, let me know in the comments below, and yeah, I will hopefully create a few new ones. Cheers.